Harry, do you have a list of who has booked or not?
No, actually, I don't have the list. Do you have the list?
Let me see if I can put it as a message to you in the message box.
Yep. Or
Hold
you can
on.
Slack me if possible.
Okay. Okay, I'll Slack you. That's fine. Let me do that for you. Let me just go out into this one. Go into here. Go into here. Oh, right. If you don't want me to go in through that way, I'll go in through the other way. No, you're a pain. All right. I'll send you 2 screenshots because it goes further down on the page.
Okay.
Or maybe I can just oh, come on, computer, don't do this to me. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can copy. Okay. I can copy them all. Oh, good, Shirley's there. The first person, you may be missing their capital A of her name. When I put it into Slack, it might have not gone in. Let's find you quickly under my... Oh, Jay, where are you, Harry, there?
My name
There's
is
Harry. Yeah, I've got you. I've just got to find it. Right, here it comes, Control V. Okay, the first one. Yeah, it's Amir, Ameer. The lady's name is Amir.
Also, please make me co-host now.
Okay, I will do that straight away. I see Mark's coming into class just to check as well. Okay, there we are. I've put it into Slack. Did you get it, Harry?
Not yet.
It should have gone through. Let me check why not. Maybe, oh, I didn't press send. You can't get something I don't send to you. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, don't mind me.
Okay,
One of those mornings.
Yeah, okay. Okay, now I'll cross-check it whenever a person enters to the waiting group. Yeah.
Okay, super. But as I say, Michael had one that was potentially not, and it was booked. So I'm not quite sure how we handle that. But I see my chair has disappeared. Let me fix myself up quickly. My chair goes down and I go with it. All right, now let's see. 3 minutes to go. Let's just... We are already live streaming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine. They can just wait for us to start. This is going to be an interesting one in the 60s. You won't know any of these answers. You're too young.
Yep. I'm born in 93, like.
Right. My son was already 13 at that stage.
Okay.
So yes, 93. You are a spring chicken, which is awesome. But there are so many interesting classes for people to attend. Yesterday, we were talking about classes, and 2 of them held up pieces of paper that they'd either printed out with all highlighted of all the different classes they're going to be attending. And they said, oh, our classes are just getting so full. And I thought that was such a lovely comment, that they found so many things that they can watch and do. And I really think it is such an incredible platform for bringing people together and allowing people to spend time together, whether they speak or whether they don't. Just the fact that they are with others. And I think that's so important.
Yep, really.
Because children, with all the good intention in the world, have their own lives to lead. And so therefore they cannot give you the kind of companionship that you crave or you would like.
You're right.
So therefore you must make your own, and this is a platform to make your own. So, Get Set Up has really got the most amazing platform and the most amazing group of people working behind the scenes and in front in creating a wonderful place for people to be. So
Right.
it really is awesome. Well, it's 10 o'clock, so in theory, we should be starting to see some people coming into the waiting room. There we go. Oh, Mark. There comes Mark and Earl. Right. Both of those I know well. Should I admit them? Are you going to
I'm
admit them?
admitting them.
Okay, fine. Fantastic. Thanks. Let me go to view of gallery at the moment. Hi, Earl. Lovely to see you.
Well,
Great to
hello.
have you.
You
Oh,
remember?
oh,
Yes.
of course I remember. Yeah.
Yes,
Lovely
you're
to
all
have you
over.
back with us. And Mark, thank you for being with us as well. And we got Theodora joining us. We're going to have quite a few people joining us today. As long as they get in within the 5-minute mark, they will be into the class and be able to be parted. Great. Thanks, Mark. I thought so. Stephen, welcome. I haven't had you in my class before. Welcome to the class. It would be wonderful if people could put their cameras on because we do have this problem at the moment of some not so nice people trying to get into the classes. Even if you pop your camera on for a minute, we know you're genuine, you're part of the class, and that makes it so much easier for us to be able to have a wonderful class. So we are getting there with lots of new people coming in. Here we go. Today's quiz is really going to, for some of the questions are you're going to go, oh, so easy. And other questions you're going to have to scratch your head. I used to know that answer. What was it? So I'm really hoping that you are going to be able to come up with some awesome things. Hi, Jackie. Lovely to have you in class. Great to see you with us.
Thank you.
As
Hi,
well.
how you doing?
Very well, thank you. You ready for your 60s trivia?
I'm gonna try.
Good, good. And that's going to be amazing. Yeah, we are all going to see how far we can go. Some of the questions I had to think because I was sort of in just early teens at that stage and younger. And some of the things I couldn't remember, some things I could remember straight away. So, welcome, Sue E. Lovely to have you in class with us. And Peggy,
thank you.
Great. Thanks for being there. That is awesome. Seeing lots of new faces that we haven't had before. So that is great. Lovely to see you, Sue. Sue, where are you from? Which part of the country are you from?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Okay.
Yes.
That lovely bridge in San Francisco. And Jackie, where are you from?
I keep forgetting about the mic. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte. Okay. And Peggy. Hi, Peggy. Lovely to have you in class.
Hi, I'm from Waterloo, New York.
Waterloo, New York. Fantastic. Hi, Fred. Lovely to have you back in class. Nice to see you. Excellent to have you in class with us too. I hope you're all ready for your 60s quiz. See how much we can remember. And Stephen, where are you from? Stephen's not answering. Okay. Theodora, where are you from? Theodora is another quiet one. And sorry, Michelle?
Sorry,
Mitchell.
I
Sorry, Mitchell.
don't know how to
Yes.
use the mic.
I'm
from Chicago.
From Chicago. Okay, great. Lovely to have you. Mitchell, where are you from? Oh, hi, Hank.
Hi.
And Diane, nice to see you back again for another quiz. Excellent.
You can rename yourself and put where you're from next to your name.
Oh, California. That's nice. Seal Beach, California. Thank you, Fred. That's awesome. And hi, Kelly. Lovely to have you in class too. I see a hi from you. That's super. And we've got Harry here as my TA. If you have any problems with your mic, please feel free to contact him. He's also here to catch anybody who's managed to get in that should not have come into class. Unfortunately, we've been having some problems with some youngsters who think it's fun to target the elderly. And so they've been trying to come in and disrupt our classes. So Harry is great at sorting those out very, very quickly. So I hope we're going to be able to enjoy a really wonderful class today. So let's begin with, I'm going to screen share. And then we can begin our, oopsie, that didn't sound so healthy. Right. Our 60s quiz. It's groovy. Remember that saying? Things were groovy in those days. It was flower power time. It was freedom. Lots. I remember many of the combis were painted with flowers, and life was supposedly very free, but it was also, there was a lot of other things going on undercover that were not necessarily as good as they could have been. Now, we all learn from each other. So it's ideally, I think, for me to be able to see you and be able to chat with you, because that way we can interact and have some fun together. If you can't put your camera on, please feel free to talk with us and to interact. That's what it's for. This is a fun quiz. This is a fun quiz for everyone. So let's begin. I live in Perth. My name is Sue. I live here in Perth with my husband, Michael. We are both guides. We moved here 3 years ago from South Africa. I've been an educator for 44 years, but now when I'm a Get Set Up guide, I don't educate, I share, and it's much more fun to share with my peers. So I really enjoy doing it. I enjoy creating and making things, including puzzles, and I've got a great love of animals, and that's why I do my animals. Right. Now, who's going to be the reigning brain? Oh, Harry, can you just let's mute him and get rid of him. How well do you remember the 60s? That's what I mean by having some fun in our class at our expense. So we're going to talk about bands, movies, history. It's a whole combination of different things that we are going to try and remember. What we're going to do is we're going to do 3 or 4 questions at a time. And then once we've done
smoke weed. I know this, but I'm gonna get you high today.
We'll get rid of that one too. Right. Oh, we really have got some bombers in here today, but we'll soon remove them and be able to get on with our own class.
Shut
right.
up, bitch.
Right. Let's get rid of these as they go along. We're going to do 3 or 4 at a time.
One by one, you'll have to get me.
Right. So what was the name? What I would like you to do is to write down
I'm over here
the
too.
different ones that we can do, and then we are able to go through them and have a little bit of fun with them. So let's see, and it's an honor system. And when we get to 10 questions, we'll find out who did what, and it's fun. It's not if you got 1 or if you got 10, it really doesn't matter if you've had some fun with it. So what was the name of the famous English 4-piece band that came from Liverpool?
Beatles.
The Beatles.
You write it down for the first three.
Oh, write it down.
Yeah, write it down, and then we'll all
Sorry.
answer the. No. We've all got to get used to the
I'm
format
sorry.
of it. No, it doesn't matter. Yes, I don't think anybody didn't know the Beatles. I think that was an easy one. All right. And now, can you name the four Beatles? Can you still name them?
John, Paul, Ringo, John, Paul.
Some people are thinking. That's great. Not so easy now to remember them. It's easy to remember the Beatles, but who were they? Who were the Beatles? Can you name all four? And the last question for this round is, what was the name of the first James Bond movie released in 1962, starring Sean Connery and Ursula Andrews? She was a real good looker in her day, and so was he. They made a wonderful couple. Right. Now, number one, what was the name of the famous band, everyone? Who can tell me? The Beatles.
Beatles.
Yeah, there they are. The Beatles. Looking very young in their heyday. And can you name the four Beatles now?
John, Paul, Ringo, and George.
John, Paul, Ringo, and George. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison. That's it. I'd forgotten for a second. George Harrison. That's right. So they were. And what was the first James Bond film?
Dr. No.
Dr. No. Yes, it was indeed Dr. No. Well done. Right. There was Dr. No. Oh, that was the beginning. That was the very first poster for James Bond 007. Dr. No. Now, let's have a look at the next one. Which Alfred Hitchcock scary movie was released in 1960 with a very famous shower scene? If you saw that, you didn't sleep for or shower for weeks.
Psycho.
On your piece of paper, if you have a piece of paper, write your answers to these three questions. Right, next one, number 5. What movie won the Oscar for the Best Picture in 1965, starring Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison? It was a musical.
Beautiful
Very,
movie.
very famous one. Of the young girl who Rex Harrison thought he could get to be a. I'm not going to say the word because it'll give it away. And the last one is, what was the name of the Australian television show with Carol Ray devised and produced the pilot episodes in the mid-60s? It was this you might find hard. People in Australia would be writing it down straight away.
I have a clue.
No, that's okay. Somebody's thinking. It's probably been aired in America because it was a very famous show. Oh, hello, my dog.
I can only think of the name of it.
Well, let's have a look and see. Let's go back. So what was the famous movie with the shower scene?
That was Psycho.
Psycho, yes,
Psycho.
definitely Psycho with her doing her scream. Now, in my previous trivia quiz, which was a movie one of the people who was there said that they couldn't get the blood in that to work, so they actually had to use something completely different to get the color
Oh, I
that
use
they wanted. Chocolate, yeah, to
chocolate
get it to
syrup.
work. Chocolate syrup to get it to work. That's quite right. And what movie won the Oscar for the Best Picture in 1965 with Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison? Who can tell me?
I know it's the one with the singing. Oh,
It
coming up.
was. Does that help you?
My Fair Lady.
My Fair
Okay.
Lady. Yes, My
forget.
Fair Lady. That's it. My Fair Lady.
I watched
And-
that on TV last week.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow. Wow. It's one of those evergreen classics that you can watch again and again. And the last one, what was the name of the Australian television show with Carol Ray, devised and produced in the mid-60s? It was called the Mavis Bramston Show. The Mavis Bramston Show. And that show was very, very famous in the 60s here in Australia. So now, number 7. In the 60s, the most powerful earthquake ever recorded at a 9.5 on the Richter scale was where? Where was that?
I know that one. Yeah.
I haven't. Ah, good.
I guess where most of them happen.
And number 8, in which year did the show Sesame Street first air on television? Sesame Street. Which year? We all know Sesame Street, but when did Sesame Street begin? All right, towards the end of the era, I will give you that as a clue. And what year was the famous Woodstock Festival held? The original Woodstock. Obviously, there have been plenty since then, but the original Woodstock. And the last one, the first woman, 10, because we do 10 at a time. The first woman in space came from which country? I won't ask you her name.
It's Alice Granby.
Oh, let's wait and see. Okay, so number 7, where was the worst earthquake ever at a 9.5 on the Richter scale?
Fairbanks, Alaska.
You think it was Alaska? It was the Valdivia earthquake, and it caused a tsunami, a global tsunami, and it destroyed so much. And it was in 1960. Yeah, it was really, really bad. And in which year did the show Sesame Street air on television for the first time? You can tell me. Take a guess.
68.
Close. Very close, Hank. Very, very close.
7.
No, you're going the wrong way.
9.
9. Yes, 9. Definitely 9. Yeah, 9 it is. He was in 9. And what year was the famous Woodstock Festival held?
1969.
Yes, you're spot on. 1969, Sue. Well done. She got it. And the last one, the first woman in space. Where did she come from? Which country?
One of 2.
One of 2. Yeah. Well, make your choice.
Russia.
Russia it is, yes. She was Valentina Treshkova in 1963, and she was in space for 3 days on the Vostok 6. So she was the first woman in space. So there she goes. Now, everybody, I'm going to stop sharing and let's have a look and see how did you guys do in that first half? Oh, Jackie's shaking her head. You must have got some, Jackie. You got the Beatles. Oh, great. Great. No, 2's a good start. And Diane, how many did you get?
I think 6.
6, great. And Peggy, how many did you get? 2. And Hank? 4, well done. Nice work. And Sue, how did you do?
Just the Woodstock. That's all I had.
Okay.
I didn't know the other one.
No, that's okay, because you're learning, you're finding out new information now as you go along, which is awesome. And Earl, how many did you get?
Well, I had to recharge my phone, so I got the last one, but that's all right.
No, that's okay. So let's continue now. I just need to send Harry a message and thank you. Right, let's continue now. We've got rid of hopefully all our bombers. They have all left us. Now, the earthquake, let's have a look at that earthquake that we had. Don't know why it's not. Oh, that's why it's not doing it. There's the earthquake. It caused a huge amount of damage. It really did. It shattered lives, shattered homes. And of course, we all remember Sesame Street and our Sesame Street creatures. Woodstock, everybody with their headbands, long hair, girls in their flowing dresses. And this was the lady who was in space, Valentina. That was her. So, right, let's continue. Now, which classic science fiction show began in 1966? Oh, if you like space, you'll know all about this one. What is this one? Very classic, very futuristic, and we all went wow, and now some of those things are actually part of what they do every day. But yep. And number 12, who did John F. Kennedy defeat in the 1960s election to win the presidential? Everybody's got that one. Well done. That was a freebie. That is fine. No problem at all.
I have a question.
Yes.
I missed the directions, I guess. So I just answer these to myself. Is that it?
You write them on a little piece of paper for the first three at a time. Hey, Earl, thanks.
Okay, sorry.
Hi, Amir. Lovely to have you in class too. Lovely for you to join us as well. That's awesome.
It's my first time, so excuse me if I'm not good at all this, but
no, this is fun. This is a fun trivia. It doesn't matter if you want to answer 1 or 10. It really doesn't matter. It's more of a fun thing to remember and to go, oh, really, was it that? And just to have a bit of fun. Each of the trivia quizzes are different. Next week's trivia quiz is called Where Do I Come From? And that's traveling around the world, looking at all sorts of food, places, things, dress, all sorts of things like that. So that is next week's quiz. Right.
How do I answer?
You answer on a piece of paper.
Okay.
We're doing 3 questions at a time. Then we answer those 3 questions, Amir.
Okay.
So if you can grab yourself some paper and see if you can answer these 3 that are here, and you can get going from here. I do them in batches of 10, and then we find out how we did.
Yeah.
Okay, so right. Everybody ready with their answers? Number 11. Which was the classic science fiction show that began in 1966?
Star Trek.
Star Trek, yes.
Star Trek, I'm on.
With Spock and Zulu and all the people that were there. Yes. Still one of my husband's favorites. He's watching the latest one of that. There's a new one out, a very modern one with all the latest gadgets on it, and he loves that one. That is out at the moment. And who did John F. Kennedy defeat in 1960 to win the presidential election?
Nixon.
Nixon. Yep, there is Nixon for you. And in the late 1960s, the Air Force released a report concluding there were no such things as UFOs or extraterrestrials. What was the name of the report? This is my one tricky question in this section.
I don't know, UFO report.
No, it was called Project Blue Book.
Oh.
But they're retract on that, aren't they?
Project Blue Book, and that was that when they got that, they said, no, that's nothing. That's just a blip on the radar. Don't worry about it. They were not interested in having it as something different. Right, now, number 14. What popular long-running soap opera still runs on TV today, and it debuted in 1965? The hint is, as the world turns, so does the and you always see an hourglass. One is that one.
I don't know.
I see it. It's on our
Can
TV
we-
every day. Just
Can
before.
we give the answer yet?
No,
or
just wait. No, we'll wait till
Oh,
we've
okay.
got the
Just
next
wait.
one. Yeah, just
Oh.
next one, number 15. 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. gave a memorable speech at the Lincoln Memorial on the steps. What was the name of the famous speech? We all know that one. It's such a famous speech. And the last one, who was the first man to walk on the moon in 1969? Right. Now, so what is the name of the soapy? Who can tell me?
I thought it was As the World Turns, but I'll guess Sands of Time.
Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives. We still have it. It's on just before the news every day. And if you turn on just too soon, you get the end of this that's been going for years and years. Right. What was the name of Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech?
I have a dream.
I have a dream.
What a powerful speech. The most amazing speech. Yeah, I have a dream. And put so simply that nobody could miss the message. And the last one, who was the first man to walk on the moon?
John Glenn.
No.
Neil Armstrong.
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 It was definitely Neil. There we go. But I feel sorry for Buzz Aldrin. I mean, he put his foot down on the moon 1 second later, only because the other guy was his boss. Was he not allowed to put his foot down? Everybody remembers Neil Armstrong. They don't think of Buzz Aldrin, Buzz Aldrin or Collins, who was up in the had to stay up in the space shuttle, otherwise they wouldn't have gone home. I really feel for the the two others that were there because you've got the one famous and two others. All right. Now, the last four in this section. Number 17. In 1967, Dr. Christian Barnard performed the first transplant of what human organ in South Africa? Very, very famous operation. Number 18. Who famously sang Happy Birthday to John F. Kennedy in 1962. And actually, she sang Happy Birthday, Mr. President, because she couldn't remember his name. Well, that's what they say. Could have been true. She was known for being blonde. So.
Yes. Oh, what's her name? I know who it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got that one.
Uh-huh. And then number 19, which famous boxer in 1964 changed his name from Cassius Clay? Didn't like being Cassius Clay anymore. He wanted to be a more powerful name.
I got that one.
His surname has only got 3 letters. Jackie is kicking herself. She can't think.
I got it.
You got it. Good. And the last one, number 20, in 1962. 3 inmates escaped from which prison that was supposedly an inescapable prison near San Francisco? Oh, good. I'm glad. Oh, sounds like everybody is now on a roll. Suddenly your brain starts thinking in the right direction. Right. Now, what happened to 19 and 20? I don't know where they went. Right. Now, can you tell me in 1967 which heart transplant took place?
Let's let that one
Heart.
Transplant.
Heart transplant. That's what you call a Freudian slip. Right. So who sang Happy Birthday to John F. Kennedy? And Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe. Yeah. She sang to Mr. President. And who changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali? What sting like a something like a bird and sting like a bee.
Float like a butterfly.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yeah, that's it. And what prison did they escape from? Alcatraz. They must have had help to get away from that place. That place is not the easiest place to escape from. Well done, everyone. Let's have a look and see. Now, what did you do and how did you do? Jackie?
I got 2 this time, I think. 2 again.
Good. That's great. We'll get you up to 3 soon, and that'll be awesome. And Hank, how many did you get?
Well, I got 8 this time.
8 this time. Wow, you're really thinking in the 60s now. Diane?
6 again.
No, that's good. Sue?
I had 3.
3, excellent. You had 1 last time, so you on the up and up. You're on the move, which is excellent.
I couldn't think of Marilyn Monroe.
And Earl, how many did you get, Earl?
Well, I got the last 4, but I'm still trying to catch up with most of the rest of you.
No, that's okay. No, the last 4 is awesome. And Amir?
Yeah, I could make it only 2 from the last 4 that you
Okay, but there you are. You're on the go. Excellent. Harry, I'm not asking Harry. Harry wasn't even born then, so it's no use asking him. He wouldn't know those answers. But I hope he's having some fun learning, hearing about the different one. Yeah, Harry says he's crying. Right. Now let's continue. All right, next page. Let's go. Now, many fashion traditions were broken during the 1960s, especially those in the UK. What was the name of the street in London which housed independent fashion boutiques and designers known as? What was that street? I actually went to that street and I bought the most amazing teapot. It was real 60s. They've still got retro, a lot of very retro stuff in that particular street. You go there to go and find old and different things. They're new, but they look old. And I brought home a couple from there when I went there quite a few years ago, but it's still very much there. And which dance from the 60s created the largest craze?
60s.
I used to do it in the bath as I got out of the bath to get dry. It was a very good way of getting dry. And which 1961 movie, based on the adaptation of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, featured rival street gangs, the Sharks and the Jets?
Oh, no.
What was that?
My son actually acted in that on stage a couple of years ago. He's an actor. Is in quite a few American and English movies, but he also loves the stage. So whenever he can, he's on stage because he really enjoys that the most. Right, let's have a look and see. Who can tell me what the name of the street was? Any idea?
Regent.
Carnaby Street. Carnaby Street. Carnaby Street. Carnaby Street in London. And it's still there. It's still very much Carnaby Street, still very retro. People go there just to look and to see, and older people go there to remember. Right, which dance from the 60s created the largest craze?
Twist.
The twist. Yeah, you did it with the towel. You did the twist. I used to practice. I used to practice with a towel. And which 1961 movie with the Sharks and the Jets?
West Side Story.
Oh, yes. West Side Story. Very definitely.
That was on TV last week, too.
Oh, wow. So you're getting your movie trivia from what's on TV, which is great. Right. Let's look at the next one. Now, let's see. Who starred as the motorcycling hero in the 1963 movie The Great Escape, in which Allied prisoners of war planned a mass escape from a German PWO camp? He had the most vivid blue eyes you could imagine. Those eyes. Right. Sean Connery uttered these words, Bond, James Bond, in the first 007 movie, which premiered in 1962. Oh, why have we got the same answer?
Yeah.
Ooh, if you don't get this from the beginning, I'll be very upset. If you can't get this answer, I'll be very upset. I'll change that for the next time we do this quiz. Now, the words supercalifragilisticexpialidocious should lead you to the two-word title of this classic 60s Disney movie.
Oh, God, what was that?
She had an umbrella and she flew. I took forever to learn to say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and to learn to spell it was even worse.
Supercalifragilistic expialidocious. Oh.
Expialidocious. I listened to the song so often until I could get it right.
Yes.
Right. So who was the main actor in The Great Escape?
Brando.
McQueen.
Steve McQueen.
McQueen. Yes, Steve
McQueen.
McQueen. Yes, with
Steve
his
McQueen.
blue eyes. Yep. And now, if you don't get this one right, I'll be upset. What was the first movie of the James Bonds?
007.
Doctor
No.
Dr. No. Yeah, Sean Connery in Dr. No with Ursula Andress. And the words supercalifragilisticexpialidocious comes from
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Absolutely. Mary Poppins with her chimney sweep and the two kids. What a lovely movie to be seen.
Did you want to say there?
Right. Now, last one. Last part of the round. Let's go. We all love superheroes, and 1960s TV gave us many to choose from. Which superhero series featured regular appearances by villainous characters called Penguin, the Joker, Catwoman, and the Riddler? They were in one particular series.
I got that one.
This particular series from this particular superhero that the series was named after, he didn't have any magical powers, if I would like to call them that. Those super things. He used his brain. He was the best of the lot. Right. In the early 60s, British pop duo Peter and Gordon had a massive hit with a single, The World Without Love. But who wrote that song? You'll be, if you don't know, you will be amazed as to who it was. It's somebody you know very, very well. They belong to a different group, but they wrote the song.
Beatles.
Yeah, but which ones? Who wrote it? Yeah, who wrote it? Right. Who was the first Indigenous Australian to have a song reach the top of the Australian charts with the song Royal Telephone in 1963? You probably will know this name when you see it. And the last one, which Simon and Garfunkel song featured on the soundtrack of the 1967 film The Graduates? Very, very famous song. Very famous song indeed. Right, let's go back. Who was the superhero series? Who was it? Batman. Yep. Batman and Robin. Here we come. Yeah. And Peter and Gordon had A World Without Love. Who wrote it?
You can go ahead and
McCartney.
you can go back there and get the blanket out of the thing. You can go on the bed. Go ahead.
I'll give you a clue. Two of the people from the Beatles. Who do you think they are? Yeah. And Paul McCartney and John Lennon. Yeah, you got it. McCartney and Lennon wrote it. Yes, they wrote it. Believe it or not.
Wow.
And the first Indigenous Australian with Royal Telephone was somebody by the name of Johnny Little. Johnny Little. It's actually a beautiful song. I went and listened to it because I'm learning some Australian history now, having moved here. I feel I need to have a little bit of Australian history to know about. And the last question, which Simon and Garfunkel song featured on the soundtrack of the 1967 film The Graduates?
Mrs. Robinson.
Mrs. Robinson. Yep. She was a temptress. She was a great temptress, that lady. Right. So how did you do in this section? I heard a lot of oohs and ahs. I heard some nice oohs and ahs coming out there. Right. Good, Jackie. Excellent. How many, Diane?
7 this time.
Great. And Amir, how many did you get this time?
Oh, I didn't do well. Let me pass.
Okay, that's okay. But did you have fun?
Oh, really, I enjoyed. And
that's
I remember now all the
answers. That's what happens. We remember afterwards. We go, oh no, why didn't I know that? Absolutely. Hank, how did you do?
I got 5 this time.
You got 5 this time. Great. And Earl?
5.
Great. And Sue, how many did you get? Are you going to tell us? Maybe?
Not really. I didn't really get. I got the Beatles one. Yeah.
Oh, great. No, well, that's okay. As long as you've had fun playing along. That is the whole idea, is to have fun and enjoy what you are doing. Now, as I said, next week is called Where Do I Come From? Where do I come from? It could be food, it could be a musical instrument, it could be some piece of clothing, it could be a famous landmark. It's a whole series of different things. So I hope you're going to join me for that one. It should be up in the next day or so. Most of my classes are up, but that one's not up yet. It should go up in the next day or so, probably on Wednesday, I think it is, or Wednesday or Thursday. It'll definitely go up one of those 2 days.
Days when?
Next week, but they're not there yet. It's not there yet.
Okay.
Because they didn't know what my title was. They hadn't asked me. So they decided they would wait to ask me what the title was of this one. And then after that, there's the 70s, and then there's a general knowledge. Then there's one on language, different things like similes and fun things, lots of fun things to do. So there's lots more to come. So I hope that you will be able to join me for the trivia quizzes. Right, just a little housekeeping. Thank you so much for being part of the class. Really do enjoy having you there with us. I've got my Boredom Busters for seniors coming up. I've also got Birds in My Garden tomorrow. And those of you who've got pets, please bring your pets to the pet hour. And we talk generally about our pets. So that's also a lot of fun. I will send you a little email just thanking you and hoping that you'll join me for the next one. I will give you some other classes you might be interested in. And if you've got any feedback about these trivia quizzes, please send it in, because it helps get set up and myself to know if we're going in the right direction and whether I should continue with them or not. So please help us with that information. It would be great. You can also share with a friend when you book in future. And by sharing with your friends, you are then able to have somebody else in class, and you can go back afterwards and say, oh, I could have kicked myself when I didn't know that answer. Did you know that answer? And you can have some fun as well. If you got any interest groups or any class you'd like to co-host, I'm happy to co-host on most topics. So please think about topics you would like to see, things you would like to have more of. And therefore, I hope to see you all again. Did you enjoy yourselves, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I had a great time.
Great
That's
time.
Thank
excellent.
you.
Good. So fun. Thank you.
Okay, that's excellent. That's what I needed to know. So hope to see you next week.
How many
Have a
days
lovely.
how many days in advance do I book in advance?
Sorry.
How many days?
No, you can
in
book on the
advance?
day. No, you can book
Okay.
on the day.
That's what I did today.
Yeah.
But you come in the your calendar. Your booking starts from when?
Most of my lessons are already up. Only this one isn't because they didn't have a title. So it should go up today. So today or tomorrow, it should be
Okay.
up. So
Yeah,
just watch for it. It'll come. It will be up.
Okay.
And then as soon as I'm speaking to my boss now, and I'll give him the title, and then we'll be able to put it straight up. So
Very
hopefully it's just got to go through the back people to get it up onto the board. But I look forward to seeing you all. Have a great day.
Is your
Bye
class
for now.
is it always the same time?
No, next week will change. I think it might be slightly earlier next week, because my husband has a class at this time from next week. So I'm just not 100% sure on what time. But once we've got, put my name in and you will find it. If you just type my name in, all my classes will come up and you'll be able to book.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a great day, great evening.
Thank you.
Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry.